Our next candidate to speak tonight is Amanda Love, and she also is running for Secretary of State. Please give her a warm welcome and a round of applause.
Thank you guys so much for having me. And that was a very passionate speech by a non-candidate, I wanted to say. That's very good. Anthony Forlini would be very proud. But I'm Amanda Love. I'm from Oakland County. And first and foremost, I'm a wife and a mother of 5 children. And I am running for Secretary of State because my children deserve to know when they grow up that their vote counts and that elections are fair. So who here thinks, please stand up actually, if you think there was any form of fraud in either the 2020 election or any election, prior or thereafter. Yeah, so that's the whole room right there. So that's a problem. And our kids deserve to grow up in a fair environment, and we need to make sure that Republicans win. And we can't do that every cycle. If not everybody's going to be Donald Trump. I mean, we can't make it too big to rig every year. So we need to clean up our election system. And I'm the best person to do that. I have the most experience in this race, and I actually shadowed a Secretary of State for a while. I worked in the Secretary of State's office, and then I moved on to the Attorney General's office. And as we've seen with Nessel and Benson, those 2 offices work very closely together. So I have experience in both those offices, and then also vast legislative experience where I've written policy and law. So then I also have the other side of the campaign. So I have the inside experience, and then I have the outside experience because I have been an election inspector and a campaign manager for many campaigns. So I've never lost a race, but I'm definitely tired of having to beat the fraud before I can even go and beat the Democrats. And I've actually won my own race without any outside help. I ran it myself, and I ran an anti-CRT platform against 2 union-backed incumbents. And I won with the most votes in that election. So I know what I'm doing, and I'm not going to need on-the-job training when I start on day 1. And our clerks, however, they do need training. And our local clerks, some of them, do not have access to the proper training. So I'm going to bring a comprehensive training program to not only the county clerks, but our local clerks, the city, village, and clerks do. And then we also have a comprehensive plan to bring training to our law enforcement officers and our constitutional sheriffs. Because oftentimes when there's an issue at a ballot box, people don't know what else to do other than to call the law enforcement, and they just don't know election law. Fair enough, it's not part of their training, so we're going to train them up. I also want to work to clean up our voter rolls. We have been talking about that for many years. We need to actually do it. And on day 1, I will withdraw from Eric, and I will take a saw to the voter rolls and get off those deceased voters, get those duplicate voters off the rolls. There is no excuse why they're still on there. And I'm also going to make sure that we stop the illegal aliens that are voting in our election. The Democrats have actually acknowledged 15 voted on our last election, so I imagine that number is quite higher than that, and it's unacceptable. So we need to cross-reference Social Security numbers with our registrations. That has been done in prior administrations, and that needs to be brought back. I also want to work with our next Attorney General on real consequences for election violators and real jail time for election violators, because if we don't have consequences for violating the law, then they're going to just keep doing it. So I also want to bring in walk-in appointments back. The Secretary of State's office is, I think around here you guys are pretty safe. If you walk in, they'll pretty much fit you in. But that's not guaranteed in other counties, so I want to make sure in an extenuating circumstance you're guaranteed a same-day appointment. I also want to bring a phone number that people can call to schedule an appointment, because oftentimes our senior citizens, they don't want to go dig up the website and try to figure out the online appointment system. So we need to bring a real number with a live person on the other end that they can call and make their appointment with. And I also want to make mobile SOS units in rural areas, because they cost fractions of a brick and mortar office, and we don't need all of them. We only, by law, need 83 offices, and I think, what is it, Anthony Hudson, how many do we have? 151. So, yep, we need to cut that back, and I want to bring the mobile SOS units instead. So, I also want to eliminate the tab system that is outdated and expensive, and we don't need to do that every year. So that is my birthday present to you. You will not have to actually go in and get new tabs every birthday. I also want to just touch briefly on my biggest strength in life, and that is actually collaborating. And I think that's very important within the party. There's a lot of factions out there, there's a lot of sides, and I think that I speak to everybody, I give everybody a fair shake, I hear everybody out, and I learn something new every day. I got into this race thinking I knew a lot about election integrity. I literally learn something new every day about election fraud or whatever it may be. So I think I bring that to the table in the Secretary of State's office. So I have more ideas, but please visit my website to learn more, www.love4mi.com. That's love, 4 is spelled out, mi.com. And again, I'm Amanda Love, and I would love to earn your vote at the nominating convention. Thank you.